Angry guy here, and having a wife or girlfriend is no longer a status symbol for men. Having a wife or girlfriend is no longer a status symbol for men. I want to talk about this with you guys. Many years ago, it's crazy to say this, and it's not as many as I'm really exaggerating it to be, but previously, having a wife, having a girlfriend was a status symbol for a man. Being able to say, I have someone who values me, who says that or believes that I have enough value for them to be by my side. It was something that men were proud of. It was something that other men envied other men for. You achieved it, bro. You found someone. You were able to get a girlfriend. You were able to convince a woman to marry you. You won the game of life. You got the prize. And there you have it, the big problem. Men made women into the prize, when in reality, the man is the prize. Think about this carefully. Women have to sit around and they actually have to wait for the men that they want to speak to them. Not only the men that they want, but also the men that they don't want. The problem here lies on this. Now that women are so hyper selective, their options are fewer and fewer, far in between. Women say that they don't want men approaching them, speaking to them in public, but in reality, they have a distorted view of reality because most women are not approached in public. Most men do not speak to women in public. It almost never happens for women, especially in today's society. The truth is that because women are on social media and they always have a simp in their DMs, they believe that that attention is the exact same as if a man were to approach them on the street, were to speak to them on the street, when it absolutely is not. It's a very big difference. But women cannot tell the difference. At least they have not been able to tell the difference, although they're starting to wake up and realize, yeah, it's not the same. These are simps. But the attention that they get on social media is different from the attention that they would receive from a man that actually takes the time out to approach them, has to be vulnerable, has to actually risk something to speak to them, versus the simp that will slide into their DMs, say something maybe a little bit twisted, and then run away. Because they're receiving money from these simps as well, they feel that that means that they have a lot of value. Because here you have a bunch of men who are giving their money to them for free. But in reality, they don't realize that what they're doing is that they're giving away their value to more men more rapidly when they jump onto platforms like OnlyFools or Lonely Fans, when they post provocative things on Instagram, which is nothing more than a 304 page at this point. They don't realize that they've sold their futures for their present, for instant gratification in the present. Even if a woman were to make $100,000 a year on average from OnlyFools, let's say she makes $200,000 a year from OnlyFools, and most women won't. Most women won't. Let's say she does that for 3 years. Guys, all of that money is going to be gone because one of the first things she's going to do is go out and buy a fancy car, buy a new house. The IRS is going to come for their piece because she's not going to develop financial literacy. She's going to spend wildly. And then when all the money is gone, because all the simps are gone, and she can no longer rebuild and regain what she has lost, she's going to think that she deserves a high value man that's going to give her a life of luxury that she somehow deserves. And she will literally end up homeless, end up living in squalor, while believing that she is still this woman who deserves a millionaire, that deserves to be treated like a soft girl, living in a life of luxury where all her expenses are paid and she is taken care of. And she is not going to settle for any less. And not only is she not going to settle, but God is going to give her this man. She's not going to settle for these plan D guys, for these plan C guys. She's not going to settle for that. God has the plan B guy who's a millionaire waiting for her. And times might be tough, but she knows that what God she serves. She knows the mighty God that she serves. And the mighty God that she serves, he's going to make a way. He's going to bring that man. That man is already out there. He's just preparing him. Because when that man enters her life, he's going to flip everything upside down. He's going to right those wrongs. He's going to put her in the mansion she belongs in. He's going to put that ring on her finger, that $100,000 ring on her finger. He is going to he's going to carry her like the princess that she is. He is going to bring her to five-star restaurants, and when she doesn't want to leave the house, she will order from five-star restaurants, and they better be there in 5 minutes, or else God God is going to do all of this for her. This is the level of delusion that they are in right now. Women are no longer a status symbol. Look at Jonathan M to the majors. Look at everything he's lost. This guy was going to be worth well over $100 million. This guy he was the face of Marvel with the Kang Dynasty. He had already appeared in a couple of different things. He had appeared in Ant-Man and the Wasp, so the final movie in that franchise as Kang. He had appeared in Loki. He was about to take over the MCU. It was literally called the Kang Saga. The Kang Saga. This was unbelievable stuff. And despite what we're saying about the MCU, this was what they were writing on. They were literally writing everything on the Kang Saga. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be insane. Personally, though, it might actually be interesting because they might just jump straight to the Doom Saga. Everybody's kind of like waiting for Doctor Doom, and I think that might be pretty darn cool as well. However, it's going to really mess up the whole multiverse saga, which I was pretty much looking forward to because there was so much that could happen with the multiverse. But yeah, his career is gone. Everybody said it. Even if he appeals, he is going to appeal, and he likely will win. It's over. His career is completely over, and that's it. And society is watching, and people are in absolute shock, and they're like, you know what? This isn't it for me, because men no longer see women having a woman as a status symbol. They see it as a liability. Other men look at them and they think to themselves, okay, this man has a wife. What problems will he bring into my life with that wife? It's the honest to goodness truth, because men no longer trust relationships, and they don't want the problem that another man will bring into their life with their wife. It's an unfortunate reality, but it's the reality we now live in. It's no longer something that you want to be proud of, to say, oh, I have a girlfriend, and other guys will look at you like, oh yeah, cool, man, that's good for you. Wish I had someone like you. A lot of dudes are like, ha 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 ha, no, heck no. And getting married, you will get mocked. Like literally, there are videos of dudes laughing at anyone who gets married today. Like they gather up with the boys and they literally just start beating a drum and laughing and pointing like, you're getting married in today's day and age? Like only a fool would be doing this. Like I said, any guy that wants to have a relationship, they're going to be flying out of the country. Men will live in a box, avoid paying crazy rent, crazy amounts for food. They will live in a box, eat canned foods if they have to. And they'll do better than that. They'll have a grill, they'll grow whatever they want. Men will live in a box, live very cheap, very, very cheap, live off food stamps if they have to, save every dime, every penny that they make, tuck it away tuck it away in cash, crypto, and gold, and they will be in and out of the US at any given moment. That's why the passport kings are so important, because the passport kings, they've learned to keep their passports up to date. So anything happens in Western society, they'll pick up and just walk out. These men will pick up, leave the US in a heartbeat, and that's it. And they don't care. And typically, if I recall, a passport is good for about 10 years. 10 years. So depending on where you are, you have a lot of options. A lot of men at any given moment will just leave the US. They'll have money in the bank. A guy who has $20,000, $30,000 in the bank and has established some roots over in another country. I told you, these guys are going to have houses. You can have a house or an apartment in a lot of these countries all over the world, in the Caribbean, overseas. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You can have your house set up in the Philippines. You can have an entire apartment for $120 a month, fully furnished, really nice. And it's just sitting there. And you can have a maid, someone maintaining your property for you. You can be in the US making money, earning money, grinding, saving all of that money, living in a shed or a camper or whatever, living or staying with your parents if possible, or family, living in a closet. Like this is, guys, when I went to Florida during 2020, I stayed at an Airbnb and there was someone living in a closet. And I'm telling you right now, that's not a bad idea at all. That's an incredible idea. Okay? Because most guys today can live out of a backpack. A lot of guys are living out of a backpack. And if I have the option where I can work, I can do something like, and I'm just giving you an example. If I was in this position, I'm a YouTuber, so I make money from YouTube. But if I was in a position, double dipping is a big thing. But if I was in a position where I needed money and I needed a place to live, I would have no problem renting out someone's closet, as long as it was a decent sized closet that I could fit in pretty comfortably. I would happily rent their closet, live in that closet, save all of my money, keep all of my stuff in a backpack. All right. Get a nice big backpack, keep my stuff in a backpack. I might have like a tiny little bag where I can keep my laundry, do my laundry as is, come and go, a bathroom and I have a bathroom, access to a bathroom. I have my closet. That's a roof over my head. That's a bathroom where I can go. I can use the bathroom when I need to. I don't really need a lot else. For food, keep food prices. I would keep things very small. Have buy a rotisserie every day. Buy a rotisserie chicken every day. That's what, 10, maybe $15 a day. Keep canned foods. In fact, guys, to be very honest, I would just if I was in that position, I would find out where the soup kitchens are, where the pantries are, where they give out food, and I would just go over to the pantries and food pantries, and I would get there early in the morning, whatever, and I would get food that way. I'm being so serious. It is a genius idea that a lot of y'all should be considering too. That need to save money. You need to learn. You need to basically innovate. Think. There's a lot of people already doing it. You need to think very, very carefully about how you want to operate, cutting your budget down to as little as possible. Okay? If you can eliminate your food costs, eliminate it entirely. If you can go to a food pantry, go to the food. They're all over the place. You don't need to eat like a king. Go to a food pantry and get all your stuff at a food pantry and cut your food bill down to zero. I'm being so real with y'all. Cut your food bill down to zero. Okay? Live in a closet. Cut your rent down to your monthly expenses and rent down to $300 or $500 a month. Okay? What you end up having there is you will now save most of your income. You'll save 75-80% of your income. And that's if you're only making $20,000-$25,000 a year. If you're making, a disposable income, if you're making more than that, come on, you're going to save all of it. Save all of it. Build yourself up, and then you can get out of the US very quickly. Go to another country and live and chill. And you can just rinse and repeat the process as many times as you need to. And you will live a high quality, happy life with no relationships in Western society. If you want a wife or a girlfriend, you'll go overseas. Otherwise, no. And this is what men are going to do. This is how men are going to build themselves up, where they will basically avoid having their wealth and resources extracted by the welfare state and redistributed to the ladies by keeping their earnings very small so that they fall into a lower tax bracket. So a lot of dudes will live below the poverty line. A lot of men will live below the poverty line. They will collect Medicaid, so they'll get free health care. They will collect food stamps, so their food will be covered. Their health care will be covered. They will live in a homeless shelter if they have to. A lot of these shelters are nice, or they will live as cheap as possible. I said it. Guys will live in a box if they have to. They will save almost all of their income, and they will have apartments overseas, and they will fly out and go overseas and live like kings, dress like kings, live like kings. Some of these guys will have a lot of these guys will have scooters and even cars waiting for them. Some of these guys will have homes around the world. Because in a lot of these places, you can build a house for $20,000 easily. $20,000, you can build a house. A lot of you guys I'm speaking to right now, you will have houses. Some of you will have houses in multiple countries that you own. You will have homes that you own in multiple different countries. And you will be renting those houses out. When you're not in that house, you'll be renting them out via Airbnb, a lot of you. And you'll be bringing in income that way and renting them to Americans or other people. And you will make a killing that way. It's going to change everything. And Western women who live these extravagant lives, they're going to have nothing. They will have no man, no money, nothing. And the state is so terrible because it gives you just enough to survive, not enough to thrive. I've already said a UBI is on the way. A universal basic income is definitely on the way because a lot of Gen Zers are not going to be able to continue in the workforce. So they're going to have to be taken care of. And the Social Security disability system is not going to be able to hold them up. So they're going to need a UBI for them. And many Gen Alphas, they're like 13 years old now. The generation that comes after Gen Z, they will never enter the workforce. So there's going to have to be some kind of UBI to provide for them. Also, all the women who are single, childless, can no longer work these long hours. They're going to have some kind of UBI to provide for them. But guys, it's not going to be a lot of money. Let's say $1,000 a month. What are you going to do with $1,000 a month? Most women women cannot live off $1,000 a month. It will just actually trap them in a deeper cycle of poverty, trying to live off that. And as they get older, it's going to become much and more difficult. And women don't know how to, get a man using honey. They only know how to how to, control men and using scorn. And they don't realize, and this behavior is only going to push men away further, which is only going to help foreign women. Guys, what do you think? I want to know your thoughts regarding this. If you agree that having a wife or girlfriend is no longer a status symbol for men. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments, so let's talk about them there. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA. Men walking away. And cheers.